TheYoursubject.org.
How to solve algebra word problems step by step. So the 5 steps of a word problem. First, you write a let statement to define all variables. Don't forget to use units because they're very important. You could either have 1 kilogram or 1 gram, and that's a very big difference. Number 2, you write or draw a then statement to define all the parts of the equation. Third, you write the equations. And then fourth, you solve for the variable or variables depending on how many you have. And then finally, you write a conclusion statement with units, because remember, units are important. So we'll show you an example right now. So the example: Greg starts driving east at noon, then Josh, his brother, drives east from the same spot at 2 p.m. So Josh has a 2-hour delay. Greg starts driving at 45 miles per hour and Josh drives at 60 miles per hour. How many hours does it take for Josh to catch up to Greg? Okay, so let's break down the question. These are the 5 steps right here. First, you have to write a let statement. So let x equal how long it took Josh to catch up to Greg in hours, which is our units. Second, you have to write a then statement. So if it's like this, then 45 miles per hour times x plus 2, since x is how long it took Josh to catch up to Greg, and Greg had a 2-hour head start, you add 2 to the hours, and that would equal miles that Greg drives. And 60x would equal miles that Josh drives, since x is how long it took Josh to catch up to Greg in hours. So miles that Greg drives has to equal miles that Josh drives, since they have to catch up to each other at the same point. So you write these 2 equations that are equal to each other. So 45 times x plus 2 equals 60 times x. And then step 4, you have to solve it out, solve for the variable. So x equals 6, so that means x is how many hours it took Josh to catch up to Greg, and it took 6 hours. So then at the end you have to write a therefore statement. So therefore it took Josh 6 hours to catch up to Greg. Or for a simpler method, the 3 dots to make a triangle shape right here, that means therefore. So it's much easier to write therefore it took Josh 6 hours to catch up to Greg.